there is one framework that has truly been around since the dawn of time. We see it everywhere, in those that we subconsciously admire, and even in the characters that we root for in films. It is the feeling of doing what is right, even when it is uncomfortable. Stoicism is a way of thinking and living. A Stoic is what you become when you know you're being tested, something you develop to get past the trials you have before you. We were not made specifically for the modern way of living. And that is one reason that our minds tend to reject it and spiral into depression and anxiety. In today's lesson, we will discuss how to develop these routines and habits to become a Stoic worth being admired, and someone who at any moment can be thrust into hell by the whims of nature and only come out stronger. As always, remember to subscribe and tell us about your Stoic journey in the comments below. Now, let's start with developing your morning routine. Number 1, prepare tonight for your morning tomorrow. The philosophy of Stoicism always comes back to the ideal that you only focus on in life what you can control. You want to have a good morning tomorrow. However, you already are aware of the patterns in which you repeat as you turn off your alarm clock in the morning and wait until the last minute. Sometimes you can't even say you are in control at these moments. That is a lie, but nevertheless, it is difficult to overcome in your tired, weak state. Instead of relying on your future self entirely, prepare tonight for the best results tomorrow. Have your coffee ready for you. Have your clothing already prepared. Place your keys, wallet, and any essentials you might need in the morning by the door. In doing so, you reclaim control over the elements that typically induce morning chaos. Stoicism, in this context, becomes a practical tool for navigating the inevitable unpredictable of the early hours. As you lay the groundwork the night before, you're acknowledging that while you can't control every aspect of the day, you can certainly influence its trajectory. Number 2, avoid distractions. If you break the word distraction down to 2 parts, you get dis, meaning apart, and traction, a Latin word meaning pulling. Distraction is to pull apart from your attention or to divert focus. Think to yourself for a moment. What typically causes you to divert your focus and stay in bed in the morning? At this time, you have all of your important resources ready to go, your clothing laid out, the coffee is on. What is keeping you in bed? Perhaps your phone at the ready is an easy device for you to pick up and scroll through videos to wake your brain up. If you are going to be looking through videos or social media, do that after you're standing up. If you truly want to eliminate distractions, you're going to need to get a real alarm clock. They are cheap, and there is nothing stopping you from buying or ordering one. Keep your phone at the other side of the room. Turn the internet off. If it makes you feel any better, you can keep your call tone on in case there is an emergency. The phone, often a double-edged sword, can be both a source of motivation and a tempting distraction. Get it away from your bed and get to sleep on time. If you need to, use it as a device to get you to stand up in the morning. Work with yourself. There are ways to avoid distractions and use what would have been a distraction as an incentive. Number 3, develop willpower. Marcus Aurelius says, concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice, and on freeing yourself from all other distractions. The hardest part is getting out of your bed, now that you're out of bed, and maintaining these habits of doing so. focus on the act of taking control. The phenomenon, when you realize that you are the master of your vessel, and anything over-encumbering you at this moment, you can take inventory of and shape your actions. Count to 5, and at the end, you stand up. If you do this every time, it gets easier. Practice this act of listening to your authority. When you count to 5, you are going to blink. When you count to 5, you are going to stretch. When you count to 5, you are going to clear your throat. Have willpower. Have power over your will. Number 4, get something done. The key is not the scale of the task, but the act of accomplishing something tangible. A Stoic morning routine encourages you to seize the early hours and infuse them with purpose. By completing a task, no matter how small, you cultivate a sense of control and achievement that ripples through the rest of your day. Number 5, reiterate what today's purpose will be. What is the reason for today? If today was a book, what would be written on the back as a synopsis? Knowing why you are awake and the purpose behind your daily endeavors is a fundamental aspect of a Stoic morning routine. Take a moment to reiterate and clarify your intentions for the day, almost like setting a compass for your journey. This can be a quiet reflection on your overarching values and long-term goals. What virtues do you embody? What principles will guide your decisions and actions? Embracing the Stoic philosophy, you understand that each day is a chapter in the larger narrative of your life. And by reaffirming your purpose, you are actively participating in its creation. Number 6, be consistent. This will come in time as you learn what works in your Stoic morning routine. There are important musts like getting out of bed at the exact same time and having everything ready from the day before. But until you get home from your day at your job or class, you can reflect on how your investment in your time helped your Stoic mindset and contributed to a sense of consistency. Consistency is the backbone of a Stoic morning routine, a steady rhythm that weaves through the fabric of your day. While the external circumstances may vary, the internal commitment to your routine remains unwavering. The consistency extends beyond the tangible actions to the mindset you cultivate. Number 7, participate in morning stretching and exercise. At any point before you leave your house, ideally early on, if you choose to spend some time with entertainment, also use this time to stretch. You can do this in the bathroom, as you are getting dressed, as you are standing up, or whenever. Though you will need to dedicate a minimum of 5 to 15 minutes to this practice, the benefits are profound. Stretching not only invigorates your body, but also aligns with the Stoic philosophy by promoting mindfulness and presence in the moment. As you engage in deliberate stretches, focus on each movement and the sensations coursing through your body. This becomes a form of meditation in motion, grounding you in the present and fostering a connection between mind and body. The intentional act of stretching also serves as a physical reminder of your commitment to self-care and well-being, reinforcing the idea that taking care of yourself is a crucial aspect of navigating the challenges of the day. Number 8, ask yourself, what might a successful day look like today? Before venturing out into the day, take a moment for introspection and ponder a fundamental question. What might constitute a successful day today? This inquiry acts as a guiding light, shaping your choices and actions in harmony with your aspirations. Within the framework of Stoic philosophy, success transcends mere external achievements finding its essence in the internal alignment with your core values and principles. As you envision success, acknowledge that it's not always about grand objectives. Some days may be characterized by smaller, incremental goals that accumulate over time. Number 9, leave early. This is a very important item in your routine. You have control over when you leave, whether that be early or directly at the pace that will allow you to arrive at your destination precisely on time. What you cannot control, however, is driving conditions like weather and traffic. If you leave at a pace where you will get there on time, you will find yourself frustrated at any inconveniences impeding your route, and even making an attempt to make up for lost time. If you leave early, any setbacks are essentially accepted. You couldn't care less, because at your pace, you've allowed for the unexpected. This crucial element in your routine embodies the Stoic principle of distinguishing between what lies within and beyond your control. This leads us to our final point. Number 10. As you leave, you must set the tone for your day. Now that you woke up at a decent time, had time to prepare your body and mind, and are leaving early, there is one last step to your morning routine. Attempt to leave the house with the energy that you wish to set as an example for the rest of your day. At this point, you are not in a rush. You are all prepared. As you open the door and let yourself assume how you feel in this moment will be the feeling until you come home. Try to get an upbeat song stuck in your head, or listen to someone who expresses a good amount of energy. Having something like a song in your head can be akin to the code language that a computer program operates on. It is the basis for your daily operating system. As you step into the world, consider the morning as a foundation, a stoic groundwork that you've meticulously laid. The upbeat rhythm in your mind or the energetic words you've absorbed become the programming language guiding your interactions, decisions, and responses throughout the day. As you embrace the world beyond your doorstep, carry the assurance that you've laid the groundwork for a day lived with intention and resilience. Now that we have a morning routine, what are some things that we are doing that we know we need to give up? Stop wasting your time. For a wise man, any amount of time is enough. As Seneca once proclaimed, it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Think about that and relate it back to your personal circumstance. You are not using your time wisely. You put so much time and resources into planning that you never seem to be able to even start working towards your goal. Some days, you're far too lazy that you are not even getting up to get started in the first place. Remember that to learn is to act. You learn through action, not enacting the situation in your mind. You only can do what is in your control. Remember that. Instead of haphazardly attempting, getting frustrated by your efforts, break down your task into smaller steps. You cannot simply jump across the river, but you can walk across multiple stepping stones. Whatever your situation is, break it down into these steps and find accomplishment in crossing off these tasks one by one. If you find yourself getting stuck on one part of the endeavor, break down that task into smaller steps, one by one, until you're done. So, don't waste time. Go into each task with multiple steps leading towards your goal to keep yourself on track and accountable. Do not be a perfectionist. This is a direct continuation from the previous habit to overcome. To try to be perfect in everything that you do is ironically to hold back. It is not to have quality over quantity, but to not have quantity at all. To be a perfectionist is to refine in real time and not to improve at a task the more you do it. Firstly, recognize that we are all imperfect beings. To be human is to be in a constant state of making errors, and it is through our mistakes that we learn and grow. It is unreasonable to expect perfection from ourselves, as it is a standard no one can truly achieve. Embrace your humanity and the imperfections that come with it, for it is a part of the natural order of life. Epictetus is not superior to Socrates, but if he is not inferior, this is enough for me. That was by Epictetus, from Book 1 of the Discourses. So, don't be a perfectionist. Instead, complete your tasks to the best of the abilities that you have today, but be in a constant state of taking note of how you might do the task better next time. You must stop complaining. Consider this. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, faced adversities with unwavering resilience. They embraced challenges as opportunities for growth. So, instead of weakly complaining about the difficulties that befall you, confront them with the spirit of a Stoic philosopher. Remember, complaining is the language of victims, and you, my friend, are meant to be a victor in the grand play of existence. Marcus Aurelius once said that everything that happens is either endurable or not. If it's endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. If it's unendurable, then stop complaining. Your destruction will mean its end as well. Do not think that you do not have a reason to complain, but overcome the urge, as complaining is to blame. Complaining is to displace responsibility. Put the responsibility on yourself to fix the problems around you, as you are the only being within your control. So, don't complain. Instead, change what is in your power to change, and recognize when you are wrong in a situation and adapt, for that is how you become a stronger man. Do not live in the past. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. That was a quote by Lao Tzu. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is to be aware of and to focus on what we can control and let go of those we can't. One area that we don't have control over is what happened in the past. It is not something that we can change, yet it is one of the hardest things for us to let go of. Regrets are a prison of our own making, but we are the ones that hold the key to our escape. Learning how to untangle ourselves from the past can bring us peace and freedom to move more lightly in the present. So do not live in the past. Instead, realize the message behind the reason you keep returning to these times of your life. Think of these memories like parables, with different names and settings. And think of the conclusion to the story and what you can learn and add to your tool belt to use in the present. You must stop fearing change. If you realize that all things change, there is nothing that you will try to hold on to. If you aren't afraid of death, there is nothing you can't achieve. That was a quote by Tao Te Ching. Your fear of change is a shackle that binds you, a self-imposed limitation that obstructs the path to true freedom. Change, my friend, is not an adversary but a constant companion in the journey of life. Consider the words of Epictetus, who proclaimed, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Change is an external circumstance, an ever-present river that flows, shaping the landscapes it encounters. Your power lies not in halting its course, but in choosing how you navigate its currents. The problem is not change itself, but your resistance to it. Like a stoic oak that withstands the storms, learn to sway with the winds of change, rather than standing rigid and brittle. When you find yourself worrying about these changes, take hold of that feeling and conquer it. Walk directly into the storm and show the storm who is king. So do not fear change. Instead, learn how to accept that you will have to deal with hardships, and that is your responsibility. The more stoic you can find yourself in these trials, the easier it becomes day by day, year by year. Do not compare yourself to others. We tend to think that this is a modern-day phenomenon, but this was a prevalent problem for humans throughout history. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not waste the remainder of your life in thoughts about others, for you lose the opportunity of doing something else when you have such thoughts as these." It is the human condition to think about what others, specifically our peers, think about us. What Marcus Aurelius is reminding us here is to forget about others and what they think about us. He says, it is far better to use our attention and mental powers to do something more constructive with our lives, and your logical, rational, and ordinary mind knows this. However, we can always take this opportunity to think of this phenomenon as a tool. What does our subconscious believe our peers are doing right, and we aren't doing well enough? Are you envying how they are starting a family? Perhaps it's time to look for a partner. Are they being offered a promotion? Perhaps we must roll up our sleeves and prove to the authority of our workplace what we are capable of. However, in the same vein of thinking, let it be known that oftentimes these comparisons are superficial and negative. Recognize that we must always be on a journey of self-improvement, being better than who we were yesterday, not who someone else is today. There is no rush to meeting life goals, but there is a drive in all of us to only be satisfied when we are struggling to get up the hill, not daydreaming what may be waiting for us at the mountain's peak. So, don't compare yourself to others. Instead, compare yourself to who you were yesterday and challenge him instead. You must stop obsessing over the future. Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present, was said by Marcus Aurelius. Your obsession with the future is a manifestation of fear, a reluctance to face the uncertainty that lies ahead. But courage is found not in anticipation, but in the fortitude to confront the unfolding moment. The future is beyond your control. Your power lies not in fretting about what is yet to come, but in mastering your response to the ever-present now. As discussed prior, we must only concern ourselves with what is within our control. If tomorrow there is something to be dealt with, all we can do is to prepare our mind and environment to make it easier for ourselves to deal with tomorrow. We cannot control how much traffic will be on the streets tomorrow. But what we can control is planning to leave early to account for if the traffic is heavy. We cannot control if it will be easy to get out of bed, but what we can control is going to bed early to make it more simple. We can control having our belongings in a predictable location. We can control being studied and thus prepared mentally. So, don't obsess over the future. Instead, learn to be prepared, as our mind, body, and immediate environment are the only elements we can control. To not be a materialist. Marcus Aurelius once said, if you can't stop prizing a lot of other things, then you'll never be free. Free, independent, imperturbable, because you'll always be envious and jealous, afraid that people might come and take it all away from you. A mission of a Stoic is to be self-reliant, for our toolbox is our mind that we must keep at the ready at all times. We know not what our opponent, be it a person or the environment itself, will draw to tackle us with. If we found ourselves one day with no electricity, how would we fare? If we found ourselves having to leave it all behind, how much would we miss it? The problem, dear seeker, is not in the appreciation of material comforts, but to be aware of the attachment to these things that transforms them into the arbiter of your happiness and self-worth. Marcus Aurelius urges you to break free from the chains of materialism, for in its grip, you forfeit the independence and imperturbability that define a truly liberated existence. So, do not be attached to material things. Instead, be vigilant in your abilities, as your personal skills may one day have to supplement the absence to your belongings. Stop having unrealistic expectations. We all have certain expectations that things should go a specific way. For some of us, it's holding fixed expectations that our relationships should be exactly as we've imagined. A perfect partner, kids, family, and friends. For others, it's the expectation that we should have it all figured out by now, that your careers should follow a carefully plotted path, or that some special event, wedding, birthday, vacation abroad, should live up what you expect. It's not that expectations are inherently dangerous, but that you are fixating on something out of your control. Positive visualization, setting expectations sky high and fixating on the best case scenario, is not so much a strategy as it is a recipe for failure. More times than not, the outcome will fall short of the best case scenario. So, stop having unrealistic expectations. Instead, do your best when trying to obtain your goal. And whatever outcome you achieve, learn from it for better results moving forward. In the subject of control, all you can do is learn and adapt. Do not procrastinate. Seneca said that putting things off is the biggest waste of life. It snatches away each day as it comes and denies us the present by promising the future. The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. In this world, where so much lies beyond our control, the Stoic solution emerges. Commit to a routine you control. By embracing a disciplined schedule, you assert control over your own actions and escape the clutches of procrastination. As Seneca would argue, organize your time, establish principles, and eliminate the faults that detain your spirit. In doing so, you pave the way for focused effort and a life well lived. So, do not procrastinate. Instead, be in the habit of, as soon as you see something that needs to be done, you do it. A sink full of unwashed dishes or a hamper full of unclean laundry doesn't just make for an untidy house, but an untidy mind. The smallest of chores completed frees your mind for the larger tasks and ambitions. You must stop seeking the validation of others. If you are ever tempted to look for outside approval, realize that you have compromised your integrity. If you need a witness, be your own, Epictetus said. Stoic philosophers believe that seeking external validation or approval is a form of external dependence that could lead to anxiety and a lack of control over your life. Humans have a natural desire to seek approval from others. It's a part of our social nature to want to be accepted and validated by those around us. However, in this endeavor, we are being an arm for another's missions. We are not furthering our own lives, but in some times taking us backwards. Living for others' approval leads us away from our true selves and desires. like wearing ill-fitting clothes just to please others. Recall the moments of genuine fulfillment in your life. They likely occurred when you were true to your own values and beliefs, independent of others' expectations. This is the core of authentic living. So, do not pursue the validation of others. Instead, live by your own morals and standards. And if your actions are complementary to the wants of others around you, all the better. Now that we have done away with our negative habits, what are some things that we can learn from Stoicism to live more positive social lives? Number 1, stop feeling sorry for yourself. This first point is something important that we vow to keep reminding in upcoming videos. It is something that you can start right now, without having to make any physical lifestyle changes. You must stop feeling sorry for yourself. As an affirmation, yes, things do go wrong. And surely situations are unfairly happening to you at this very moment. People that you care about aren't returning the same care for you. The same hill that you are trying to get up is steeper for you than it is for the people on the very same terrain. Despite all of this, you must maintain a clear vision. You must only concern yourself with what you can do about your misfortunes. Imagine how it looks to others. Who would want to walk up to someone who is closed off, sad, or angry? Even the saying, "Fake it until you make it," resonates in this fundamental wisdom. If you are defeated, put on a confident, determined look. People will then treat you as confident and determined. Carry yourself high. Reevaluate what is important. If you are finding too much importance in those that are making you feel bad, perhaps that is not ever going to change, and you will forever be in this loop of self-pity. If you can find a way to remind yourself to fix your posture, put on a confident expression, and refocus your attention every time you begin to feel sorry for yourself, you will find people treating you more as a colleague than as a burden. Number 2, engage in more social circles. In light of the recognition that one may feel overlooked in their current social circles, a Stoic-inspired approach to addressing this situation involves a focus on self-improvement and expanding social circles without succumbing to feelings of self-pity or emotional distancing. The Stoic philosophy aligns with the idea that investing energy into relationships should be reciprocal, and if there's a sense of imbalance, a proactive and constructive response is warranted. Rather than emotionally distancing oneself and hoping others will seek attention, the Stoic solution involves channeling that energy into what you can control, like stepping back from your circle and broadening the amount of social circles that you have. This emphasizes personal development and finding contentment within oneself, expanding social circles through activities like finding a new job. And if you have a job, considering a casual job, volunteering, finding others that participate in the same hobbies as you. This not only provides new opportunities for connection, but also allows you to distance yourself from those who take you for granted. And perhaps finding others that see your worth. Number 3, take your hobbies into your community. The concept of replacing indoor activities with outdoor pursuits for self-development resonates strongly with Stoic principles, particularly in its focus on personal growth. When you take something that you would be doing regardless, but taking it outside of the comforts of your own home, you will find yourself engaging with the world, meeting new people, and developing an unpredictability to your routine. Say, if you read or study, you take your activities and relocate to spaces like the library or a local cafe. By choosing venues outside the house, individuals not only expand their knowledge but also increase the likelihood of social interactions and the creation of lasting memories. Stoicism encourages an active and engaged approach to life, and choosing activities that take place beyond the confines of one's home contributes to a richer and more dynamic existence. The idea that a less predictable routine makes one more interesting and appealing to others is a fact. You are proving that you have more going on, even if you are still doing what you would have been doing inside. Consider even taking up new hobbies like swimming or going to the gym, exploring trails, volunteering at your church. By venturing outside, meeting new people, and continuously developing oneself, you will have more to add to the conversation. You will also be taking back your energy concerning yourself with others that take you for granted and reinvest it in yourself. Number 4, be more mysterious. In the realm of social dynamics, the allure of mystery can be a game changer. It's not about being distant or unfriendly. Rather, it's about leaving room for discovery, creating an intriguing aura that compels others to want to know more about you. When it comes to interests and hobbies, resist the urge to broadcast them like a neon sign. Let them be discovered naturally, sparking curiosity in those around you. Similarly, avoid divulging every detail of your plans and whereabouts. The magic of mystery lies in not making your life an open book. Leave blank pages for others to fill with their imagination. Why does mystery work? Because curiosity is a powerful motivator. Humans are drawn to the unknown, and the process of discovery is inherently exciting. If you're an open book, there's nothing left to uncover. But if you're a captivating puzzle with pieces waiting to be revealed, you become infinitely more interesting. Imagine your weekend involved you getting to cross out an item from your bucket list. A genuinely interesting event happening in your chronicon. Would you tell everyone about this as soon as it happened? Or would you let it come up as something to add to a conversation down the road, having others think, wow, I wonder what else this person has accomplished? A good thing to keep in mind is that any idea that comes up in conversation can be uttered by any individual, though it is those with supporting anecdotes that are looked up to as wise. Each situation that happens to you, be it good or bad, is an anecdote waiting to be told. Everything interesting that has happened to you so far in life is timber for the campfire. It's a tool for your tool belt of steel wisdom. Remember, being mysterious is about balancing openness with restraint, sharing aspects of yourself selectively. In a world saturated with information, those who can maintain an air of mystery stand out. So, become the riddle that captivates those around you, and let the world lean in to unravel the mystery that is uniquely and authentically yours. Number 5, avoid being constantly available. This multifaceted approach not only prevents an individual from being consistently available to every request, but also provides a sense of empowerment and autonomy. If there's a sense of being taken for granted in one's social circle, having alternative avenues allows for a redirection of time and effort toward more fulfilling endeavors. This aligns with Stoicism's emphasis on personal growth and the pursuit of meaningful goals that contribute to individual well-being. Stoicism encourages individuals to focus on what is within their control, and managing one's availability is an aspect of personal choice. By being intentional about availability, individuals can foster an air of mystery and uniqueness, prompting others to appreciate and value the time spent together. The Stoic philosophy encourages individuals to find contentment and value within themselves, irrespective of external circumstances. By participating in alternative activities that genuinely benefit personal growth and happiness, one can detach from concerns about how others may treat them and focus on something more controllable. Number 6, prioritize what is best for you. In the pursuit of being noticed, don't lose sight of yourself. Those who command attention prioritize their well-being and happiness over the quest for external validation. Envy leads us to fixate on others, but the person you envy isn't spending all their time trying to catch someone else's attention. To become someone others would approach, be someone you'd approach. Prioritize your mental, physical, and emotional well-being. Establish a routine that nourishes your body and mind, steering clear of activities or relationships that compromise your sanity. It is a cliché. However, your body is your temple, so treat it accordingly. Engage in activities that bring you joy and contribute to your happiness. Craft a routine that aligns with your goals and values. As you immerse yourself in self-care and personal development, you'll become someone others naturally gravitate toward. Being noticed begins with prioritizing what is genuinely best for you. It involves cultivating a life rich in experiences, embracing the allure of mystery, having more to offer, strategically positioning yourself in the dating arena, curating an approachable image, and prioritizing your well-being. These tips are not about conforming to societal expectations, but about forging a path uniquely yours. Now that we have a better idea of how to live our social lives with taking Stoicism into account, what are some battles that we may need to fight alone? Number 1, do not share the silent battles you fight. The caution against openly discussing ongoing challenges in Stoicism is rooted in the philosophy's rejection of ego and pride. When you're sharing what you're going through, you must ask yourself if you are doing it because you have hit a wall and know not how to further progress, or if you are sharing as an excuse or as a way of receiving pity from your fellow man. Stoics warn that revealing these struggles may cloud our vision, leading us to seek external recognition and praise, which can veil our true potential. If we have a battle that we can fight alone, sometimes it's best to meditate and fight the problem alone. Figuring out how to overcome this problem easier next time, rather than oversharing in pursuits driven by the desire for external validation. Stoics advocate for sharing these struggles with individuals who understand and appreciate the value of internal growth. Those who have been down the path you are currently going down, who can get you the best directions. If you must share these battles, do so without adding emotion to the circumstances. Merely give only enough information to communicate the problem. How you are feeling regarding this problem is a battle that you must fight alone. Something you must realize in yourself, not in the responses of others. Number 2, do not be caught complaining. Refraining from complaining is emphasized as a mindful choice that aligns with Stoicism's emphasis on maintaining inner tranquility and focusing on what is within one's control. Complaining often adds little value to life and is counterproductive to cultivating a happy life. By adopting a Stoic approach of choosing not to complain, individuals can enhance their mental well-being, fortify relationships, boost productivity, and nurture gratitude. As you find yourself complaining, it is typically because you have noticed that there is little that you can easily do to change the situation to be a fitting circumstance. However, there are situations where complaining may seem like an enjoyable alternative to confronting challenges directly. Whether it's about a difficult boss or an unlikable co-worker, shared grievances can create a sense of camaraderie among individuals facing similar issues. It is crucial to recognize that these situations are potentially dangerous within the context of Stoicism. While shared complaints may offer temporary relief or foster a sense of connection, they can inadvertently perpetuate a negative mindset and distract from the Stoic principles of resilience and virtue. It's important to approach such situations with mindfulness, seeking constructive ways to address challenges rather than indulging in complaints that may undermine the pursuit of inner tranquility and personal growth. Number 3, don't brag about yourself. The caution against bragging about oneself aligns seamlessly with the Stoic principles of humility and discretion in the pursuit of self-improvement. Epictetus advises that genuine efforts toward becoming better individuals should be accompanied by humility, emphasizing that boasting about personal progress may dilute the sincerity of one's intentions and diminish intrinsic motivation. In the Stoic view, true self-improvement is a deeply personal journey, undertaken for the sake of individual betterment rather than for the sake of seeking applause or recognition from others. Instead of stories elevating yourself above others, let your actions speak as the genuine testament of your growth, silently and idly. Stoicism values the transformation of behavior, character, and mindset as the true indicators of progress. Do not take pride in the value of others realizing your successes. Instead, take pride in your growth and progress. If you truly are progressing, your peers will admire you without you having to utter a single word. Number 4, don't speak ill of yourself. Marcus Aurelius sagely advised, don't be overheard complaining, not even to yourself. This Stoic guidance serves as a safeguard for self-confidence and mental well-being, with the understanding that persistent self-deprecation can undermine motivation and impede personal growth. Rather than succumbing to negative self-talk, Stoicism encourages individuals to uphold their self-worth and potential. In line with Marcus Aurelius' counsel, the Stoic perspective recognizes the inherent vulnerabilities within every person, akin to a hero's Achilles heel. Acknowledging the beautifully imperfect nature of humanity, Stoicism contends that strengths and vulnerabilities coexist within individuals. These vulnerabilities, the delicate and raw facets of our psyche, deserve protection rather than exposure. By adhering to Stoic principles, individuals can cultivate a mindset that shields their vulnerabilities, fostering a positive and constructive inner dialogue that contributes to self-growth and mental resilience. Number 5, don't talk about others. Finding benefits in speaking ill of others can be akin to disturbing the serenity of a calm lake by throwing unwarranted stones. When you find yourself in this action, focus inward. Recognize that judgments and criticisms divert energy from personal growth and virtue. Stoic wisdom encourages individuals to be guardians of their words and thoughts in a world where criticism is prevalent. To use others as a ladder to elevate yourself is being a tyrant. It gives off the appearance of someone trying to get ahead of others by altering perception. By creating reality through dishonest means, individuals compromise the very principles Stoicism seeks to uphold. Stoic teachings caution against such manipulative tactics. Focus instead on internal virtues and self-improvement. Embody honesty and genuine virtue. Align yourself with the Stoic pursuit of a meaningful and virtuous life, wherein the true measure of success is not in how one appears to others, but in the authenticity and integrity with which you navigate existence. Stoicism views forgiveness as an act of profound wisdom. Consider that when you find yourself in the antagonistic positions of cowardly, putting someone down. Number 6, don't talk about your future plans. Social platforms have a constant announcement of intentions. Stoicism encourages a measured approach, recognizing the empowering nature of maintaining an element of mystery and unpredictability. Stoics perceived goals and dreams as precious seeds meant for the fertile depths of the soul, shielded from external storms of opinions and criticisms. Self-sufficiency allowed true wisdom and accomplishment to flourish as an internal well from which one could draw strength. Discretion, far from a weakness, is a deliberate choice rooted in Stoic philosophy, protecting against the whimsical winds of external judgment laden with criticism, envy, and malicious intentions. If your dream is to publish a book, but find peace in the congratulations others give you in regards to telling them about your journey, you will find yourself content and less likely to feel the need to publish the book in the first place. You must not allow the goal to be applauded, but to accomplish your goal and learn in your progress. As soon as the satisfaction comes from the external world, you will find it harder to be satisfied internally, as the journey uphill will take a long time. Number 7, don't speak of self-doubt. The Stoic perspective encourages individuals to perform good deeds for the sake of virtuous living, understanding that the true reward lies in the alignment with moral principles and the cultivation of a virtuous character. Disclosing these actions may compromise the sincerity of one's intentions and potentially lead to a subtle form of self-aggrandizement, which runs counter to the Stoic principles of humility and genuine virtue. Stoicism teaches that true virtue is its own reward, emphasizing the internal satisfaction derived from acting in accordance with ethical principles. The Stoics saw the pursuit of goodness as an inherent part of the human journey and advised against seeking external validation for acts of kindness. Let another praise you and not your own mouth, a stranger and not your own lips. Wise words from Epictetus to end our video with. As always, remember to subscribe and tell us about your Stoic journey in the comments below.